Alright, welcome back to another video on my channel, math_exe, and today we're going to prove the quadratic formula. So in case you forgotten it, I've written it right here. So let's just recall it. So if you have like a quadratic equation like so, ax squared plus bx plus c, and this is equal to 0, then we can determine the value of x as follows. So you have negative b plus or minus the square of b squared over 4ac, and this is all over 2a. And let's get into the proof. So first of all, I'll just rewrite the original equation, the standard form of the quadratic equation, like so. And next we're going to factor out an a out of here. So we're going to left with right here, this will be x squared left, and right here we have b over a x. And notice if you like distribute the a back, you just get bx. So next we have c over a, and yeah, this is all equal to 0. And notice you can divide both sides by a, and the 0 doesn't really change because 0 divided by anything is just 0. So we're only left with this equation right here. Okay, so next step, we're going to set up our completing the square setup. Wait, right there. Okay, so we're going to write, well, I've used a, b, and c and x in this quadratic equation, so let's just use another variable. Let's just use u and v. So we're just going to u squared plus 2uv plus v squared is equal to like so. And next we're going to set these two terms both equal to each other. So x squared equals u squared, and b over a times x equals 2uv. And we're going to find what v squared is supposed to be, and then we can add something to this equation to make this factorable as a perfect square, like so. Alright, let's see. From the first equation we can get that after squaring both sides, after taking the square root of both sides, we can get that x is equal to plus or minus u. But in this case we don't really need the plus or minus sign, and you may test it, and it doesn't really matter. And from the second equation we have b over a x is equal to 2 times, well, we know u is x, so we're just going to substitute that in, and v. And notice we can divide both sides by 2 x. Just write this on the bottom right there. Okay, so notice this 2x will cancel with this 2x, this x will cancel with this x, leaving us with b over a divided by 2. I'll just rewrite this right there, b over a divided by 2. But we can just say this is the same as b over a times a half, and this is all equal to b over 2a. There we go. So I'm just going to clear that out. We're going to rewrite this as b over 2a. And notice this is exactly the value of v we want to find. So we have b equals b over 2a. And we can quickly notice that after taking the square of on both sides, we can get that v squared is, well, we can just take the square of both the numerator and the denominator. So we have b squared, and all over 2a squared is just 4 times a squared. There we go. So these are the values that we need. So just box them in red. And also don't forget this right here. Alright, now let's just rewrite the equation right here so it won't get messy. C over A is equal to 0. And we need to find a number that when added to this term right here, C over A, will give us our v squared term, which is b squared over 4a squared. And well, this is just equal to adding the following. We can just add v squared over 4a squared minus c over a. And notice it's just very self-explanatory. If we add this, we get that. So yeah. And don't forget, we need to add this on both sides. There we go. Alright, so you can get that this will become x squared plus b over ax. The c over a will become our v squared term, which is square over 4a. There we go. And this is equal to 0 plus this, which is just this monstrosity here. And we can do a little bit simplification right here, and we can just combine this into a single fraction, and you can multiply both the numerator and the denominator of this fraction right here by, let's see, 4a, and this will be equal to b squared. I'll just rewrite the whole thing. This is minus this 4a times a, which will become 4a squared, and this top will become 4ac. And notice we can just combine the fractions together to get b squared minus 4ac over 4a squared right there. And notice this is all equal to our original equation right there. And we might as well factor this. Notice we can just rewrite this like so. Notice there u is x and our v is b over 2a. So I can rewrite this as x plus b over 2a squared. So I'll just rewrite the whole thing right here. And next we can take the square root of both sides, and remember to take the plus or minus sign right there. So the square root and the square right there will cancel, leaving us with x plus b over 2a, and this is equal to, well, this monstrosity here over 4a. And notice we can just take the square root on both the numerator and the denominator, and yeah, I will add the plus or minus there over square root of 4a. And notice we can rewrite 4a, the square root of 4a squared. We can just take the square root separately. It's equal 4 times a square root of a squared. There we go. And we don't really need to worry about the plus or minus sign because we already have it right here. So noticing that 4 squared is just 2, a squared, and then take the square root, it is just 2a. So this whole thing becomes positive 2a. And noticing we have a plus or minus sign right here, so I can just split this into both cases where x, well, we actually don't need to, because we're going to find a nice formula, and that nice formula, which is just the quadratic formula, and that involves the plus or minus sign. So I don't really need to split this into both cases. So yeah, so if x plus b over 2a, I'll just rewrite this real quick, this term right here, and we can just bring the plus or minus sign to the numerator right there, plus or minus this thing right here. There we go. And we can just subtract both sides by negative b over 2a. We can just subtract that. So notice doing that this and this will cancel, leaving us with x is equal to plus or minus the square root of b squared over 4ac, and this is, well, we can just indicate right here, plus minus b over 2a, and we just can kind of combine the fractions, so we just write this minus b, and this is all over 2a. And finally, the final step is to rearrange the negative b, so it's on the front, so we have negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a, and this is our final answer, which is exactly our quadratic formula right here. There we go. And this is like one of the proofs that I can find. I'm pretty sure there are like some other ones, possibly some easier than this, but I thought this is pretty good enough to explain. So this involves like completing the square tricks and some algebraic tricks, and yeah. So hopefully guys you enjoyed this video, and yeah, subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.